when it comes to money management and the things I talk about, sometimes people feel like, okay, because she's an expert in finance, she's gone to school and she has 3 decades of experience in this, she's judging me. She's telling me about all the things that I've done wrong. I will far from ever judging you. Even if you have made mistakes and you're 3 decades into your life and it's like, okay, well, I'm 3 decades into my life and I haven't saved anything for retirement. You cannot do anything about your past. So I can't judge you and tell you, oh, you should have done this, you should have done that, you should have done this. Because that's not going to help you. What you should do is go back and look at what you did do and say, okay, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I've learned from that. But if you didn't learn from a mistake, then it's really, truly a mistake. You have to learn from those experiences to move forward. That's the only thing the past does for you. The only thing that you can do, that's the most valuable thing, is the past is lessons. If you have not had lessons from your past, then your past is invaluable to you. It's nothing. But there shouldn't be any regrets about the past. There should only be lessons. And it doesn't matter who the person is that I'm talking to, I will never be judging that person because I myself still make money mistakes. But the key is, okay, if this is what happened and this is what I did, I'm going to learn from that and move on. It's kind of, okay, things have to happen to us. You know how sometimes they say that with the kids, you say, oh, learn from my mistake. And you tell the kids, da 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 da. And they're like, oh, mom, I know you don't know nothing, blah, 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 because we're old. But we can't teach them from our lessons. We have to cut that cord or give them wings or whatever you call it. And it's painful for us as parents, but we have to give them those things and hope that we have taught them well when they go out and they do make those mistakes, because the mistakes are sometimes inevitable. And sometimes God puts situations in our lives that we think, oh, that's the hardest thing. Why did God do that to me? You can't look at that. You can never say, why did God do that to me? I'm saying that because I used to say that when I was young. Now I say, okay, what is God trying to teach me? What am I supposed to learn from this lesson? Where am I supposed to go with it? And I'm constantly asking that question now because there's lots of things in my life today that have changed. I am leveling up to a different level. I'm cross-changing my profession. I'm going from being a normal tax planning CPA to being a financial literacy influencer and advocate, which is my true love. So it is scary as shit to do this because I am used to being in my little box, living my little life, and not taking risks in my career. Yes, I've taken risks financially because I understand the concept of money and the concept of compounded interest. And the only way that I'm going to grow my wealth is not going to be by my salary, because my salary is very small. My husband's salary is very small. So we in our life right now, in my 49 years, my wealth has not grown from salary. It has grown from proper money management. It has grown from intentional money management. It has not grown from deprivation, because I do not believe that deprivation is the way to go when it comes to finances. But that's how my parents did. That's how my generation did. That's how my culture does. We believe that you should deprive yourself of everything and save every penny and negotiate everything. And negotiate it down to the wazoo, and that's how you save. Deprive. But I think of deprivation as a binge diet. It's like depriving myself from all the good foods when I'm eating it. And then when I do get off that diet, I am eating so much more and then some, and I'll probably gain back all that weight again. Which all of us know that has ever been on a diet, that's how it works. You deprive yourself of all these things completely, and then all of a sudden you go back, you fall off the handle and you go back. to it. That's not the way we need to think about finance, because we're going to go back to it. We're going to be going on this diet, and it's going to be a circle. We also cannot think about finance the way that you young people think of it today. Gen Zs are all about instant gratification. I want the $500 purse today. I want the BMW as soon as I get my job. Heck no. You get your BMW when if you're prioritizing the BMW now, that means you're leaving yourself out of ever buying a house, which is harder for your generation today than before. Ever buying a home, whether it's a condo or something like that. Saving in your retirement account, saving for your vacations, saving for all these things. So I am not a car person. And the car is the last priority on my list. It's having my own home. It's saving for my vacations. It's taking my kids out to dinner. It's, saving for my kids' college fund. It's saving for my retirements. It's all of my different saving pots. The car is the last saving pot, because to me, the car is not an investment. It's an investment in keeping up with the Joneses. It's an investment on how it looks to society, which doesn't matter to me. I drove a mom van for 20 years. I drove my mom van to Polo. Maybe they looked at me, maybe they don't. I don't live in my mom van. I live in my 3,000 square foot house, which I saved diligently for. So that's okay if I don't care what kind of car I drive, because that car is not an investment. I believe in driving a car that drives, and that's not going to break down on you in 2 seconds. But the mom van did its purpose for 2 decades, because that's what it is. My other priorities is my other savings pots. So if you have other priorities and other savings pots, then that's what you need to prioritize. But remember, if you're going to come out of college or come out of school and first think that you need to get an expensive car, and it's going to be, I don't know, $1,500 a month, $1,000 a month in whatever you're buying or leasing, which I have my own opinions about leasing too, then you're not going to be able to save for your house. You're going to be car rich and house poor and vacation poor and all the other things poor that you want to do. If you're going to live in your car, go ahead. Anytime somebody asks me about a car, I'm like, if you're going to live in the car, go ahead, splurge, do what you want to do. But the car, if you want to buy this very expensive car, the car out of college, out of the first thing that you prioritize, I would almost guarantee you that is the wrong decision. And I don't always say this. I don't always say a decision is wrong. But cars are shiny things that are shined in front of young people, and they think that they need to get that first soon as they come out of college. Big, big, big no-no. Buy something that is reliable, that's going to get you from one place to the other, and prioritize all of your other goals. Prioritize all of your other financial goals. Your housing pot, your retirement pot. If you have kids, your kids' college fund pot. If you have college loans, your college loan pot. Your vacation pot. All of those other little pots need to be prioritized before the car, unless you're going to live in the car. And I don't guarantee you should be living in your car, because then you would be considered homeless because the car doesn't have an address. So that's my story on cars. When you come out of school and you're starting out, a car, an expensive car, a fancy car is a big, big, big no-no. Do not do it. Get something reliable that is able to take you from one place to another. If you're like me, you know nothing about fixing the car, and if something happens with it, you're just calling a tow truck, then get something reliable. If you're a mechanic and you're really inclined and you want to get something that's a fixer-upper, go ahead if you know how to fix it. But get something reliable that is a vehicle that takes you from one place to another. That's what a vehicle is. It takes you from one place to another. It is not an investment. And if you are getting a car as an investment, one of those luxury cars for investments, then it should not be your number one goal. You should have other priority goals within your lifestyle, within your life, before you get to the vehicle. So if Gen Zers and kids that are graduating colleges, or even kids before they graduate college and they get a vehicle and they're buying a vehicle, do not, big mistake to get one of these shiny new vehicles at a really large payment. And let's not even talk about how much insurance is going to cost you for that car before you prioritize your other goals in life. That is the lesson there.